Hello, potassium people. Welcome back to another Banana Bites where I'm asking Valve to please add the strangesecondbanana to TF2. Please, I really just want to track stats on the second banana. You already have stuff for the sandwich. Anyways, let's talk about something that has been a fairly prevalent problem within gaming, especially recently. Now, this mindset has always been around since the early days of gaming, including the time when Pac-Man was going around eating pellets and destroying ghosts with his giant mouth hole. Alright? But this problem is elitist gaming. The idea that in order to be a true gamer, you have to fulfill certain criteria that hinges on the natural ability to play a game. Specifically, I've been thinking about the conversation of the sandwich versus the second banana, but I've also seen this with other games. In fact, let me touch on those real quick. So, I was recently watching a friend of mine play Metal Gear Solid 5. It's a pretty fun game. Not the best in the series, but it's a fun, sandbox type adventure compared to other Metal Gear Solid games. And as I was watching them play, someone came in their chat and started just telling them things like, oh, you need to do this. You need to upgrade your Fulton stuff immediately. Fulton is like you attach balloons to people and then you get them as soldiers in your base, right? Or they were like, oh, you should turn off reflex mode because it's ruining the game. Reflex mode is basically when you're spotted by a soldier, time slows down and you have a little bit of time where you can react, and if you can deal with the threat before they call for reinforcements, then wow, you're good to go. But if you don't, then you're in combat. And so this person eventually just started saying, oh, you're an idiot. You didn't turn off reflex mode, etc. This is like 10 minutes into them just playing this game for the first time. Never played a Metal Gear Solid game before. And it's like, hey buddy, chill out. It's the first time playing, they put reflex mode in the game. It's not that big of a deal, alright? Just let them play the game. And for some reason, this is just mind-boggling. The idea that people would play a game with its intended mechanics is just so irrehensibly terrible that their life is shattering right then and there from this revelation. I don't know why it became so prevalent nowadays, but I'm actually lying. I do know. I used to be an elitist gamer myself, mostly with From Software games. See, I played Dark Souls when it first came out. I've been up to date with all their games. I even went back. I played Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 through 3. I've got Bloodborne, Elden Ring, all of that under wraps, right? And I remember back in the earlier days before Elden Ring even came out, when they were basically like, Miyazaki, you need to release Elden Ring and I'll give you my entire life. I'll give you my family. It was like how people are with Silksong nowadays, going absolutely nuts over anything. And I remember back then, I used to just tell my friends that are starting the game, oh, you just gotta get good. Yeah, technically you do. But I never told them they couldn't use things. I was never like, oh, if you use consumables, you're a terrible person. You suck. I'm going to beat you up later on. No, it was just, you need to get better at the game, right? And obviously, I was at the time oh, don't use guides, blah, 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 because I thought that would diminish the value of a first playthrough. But, it's what friends do. make things a little more difficult for each other. But again, it's never the point of, hey, you're not allowed to use intended game mechanics. But I do remember the sense of elitism that, oh, I've been able to play through this game so level 1. I could not do that today. But back then, I had a lot more time. And I am looking back on that experience and thinking, of course, the reason why this has become a phenomenon, why it's affecting even games like TF2, which are very silly games, is because people want to be recognized for the feats they accomplish. And games are now more widespread and acceptable in the eyes of so many people. I mean, back in the day, if I told people I like Super Mario Brothers, I would have been called a nerd and been beaten up. Just kidding, I would have beaten them up. That's kind of big for a kid. And nowadays, if you tell people you like Super Mario in elementary or middle school, they'd probably still beat you up. Nintendo isn't the best company, but also, what are you, a kid? Of course you are. Kids hate kids. Have you ever been to school? They hate each other. But, in all seriousness, because games are more widespread and are accepted, not even just like as a hobby, but as a profession, right? Become a professional gamer, get money, and then you don't have to work a day in your life. Just do what you love. Well, now there's this push to be better. You have to be better than the other guy, right? If you're not better than the other guy, then playing games is a waste of time. It's horrible. This is a horrible mindset. Competitive games are fine. 1v1 fighting games, wonderful. You want to play Smash Brothers competitively, go for it. That stuff is fun, okay? But if you start showing up to parties, you're like, hey guys, we gotta play Smash Bros. 1v1, no items, final destination only. Like, they're gonna kick you out of the party. You're taking something, which is a game, full of these different possibilities, full of this ability for creative expression and spamming in the corner as Samus until everyone gets mad and jumps on you. You're taking this opportunity and you're making it into a feat of skill for a game where people are just trying to have fun. And it's so sad to see how this is becoming a more normalized mindset. Back to TF2, that thing I teased at the beginning of this very long conversation. In TF2, there's recently been a very interesting thing where if Heavy wants to use the second banana or even a shotgun, I know, crazy, it's seen as just you not caring at all what's going on with the team. Medics will get extremely mad. Oh, give me a sandwich and you throw them a second banana while they're on fire? Well, the fire's gone, but inside the fire's still burning. I remember one time I was called out because I wasn't using the holiday punch. Oh, you're throwing the game. And they called a vote kick on me because I was using the gloves of running urgently? It boggled my mind. I'm playing casual, of all things. I remember TF2. TF2 used to be a very, very silly game. And it still is, in a lot of ways. But this kind of reaction was absurd. It's not the only time. I've seen it happen a lot of different times. Not as serious as that. Well, I wouldn't call it serious. It's not serious. You get kicked from a game, you just queue for another one. But the idea that if you're not using the most meta loadout. You're throwing. You're not living up to the elitist expectation. Oh, you don't have a 6-1 KD? You suck at the game. Okay, great. I or you or anyone else sucks at the game. That's what happens. That's how a 6-1 KD happens. You have someone who's really good, or maybe just they're in the right spot and they spam, or they're effective, right? And then the people who can't deal with that, they die. But I think because of elitist gaming mindsets, there needs to be an appropriate counter to this. Something that will help to say, hey, if you're not in a competitive group talking with people who give their consent for advice, that's a big thing. Just like, if you want to give advice, if you want to help people improve, maybe ask them first. Unsolicited advice is annoying. Unsolicited solicitors at your door telling you to buy a product is annoying. You want to get permission. And so, if we just show them, hey, I'm not interested, just tell them straight up, hey, I don't care. And then mute them, block them, whatever you got to do to stop hearing from them so they know, hey, that is unwelcome. All of a sudden, I think we'd see less of this mindset. And you know what? Maybe what I'm proposing is a bit toxic. Because I'm sure there are people out there that just want to give decent advice, right? They're just like, hey buddy, I know you want to play scout with the backscatter, but it's not a good weapon. You should try the scatter gun. Maybe just be like, hey, would you like any advice on how to get better at scout? Because I know you've been saying some pretty mean things in the chat because you keep running out of shots in your scatter gun, aka your backscatter. Can I offer some advice as someone who's played scout for a while? If they say no, it's a pretty good sign that you don't need to say anything. But elitist gaming, it's just been very interesting. And hopefully, the people who are annoyed with it, the people who are fed up, say something about it, and then take the appropriate action, aka just blocking them out entirely. That's my thoughts on the matter. I'm gonna eat this banana. Seriously, like, I'm not going to equip the sandwich. I don't care. I'm not playing comp. I don't want to play comp. I'm not interested. I'm playing casual. Let me have the second banana. It's that simple. That's good. I don't care if the airstrike isn't as good as the regular rocket launcher. I want to use it. It's good. And it's nice is that bananas don't care about other people's opinions on how you should play games. As long as you're not cheating and not exploiting in a way that affects other people, right? Because obviously, speedrunners love to use glitches and exploits, that's fine. But as long as you're not cheating, as long as you're not using exploits in a way that ruins the game for other people, such as building sentries under the map, you're probably just fine. Natasha sucks though. I hate that thing. Stop using it. You're not a bad guy for using it. But as someone who plays Scout, I hate you. You can keep using it. But just know, you're gonna pay one day. Okay, but in all seriousness, it's not that bad. Well, the banana's gone, so I don't have anything else to ramble about. Man, that banana was good. Maybe I should have a second one.